Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would do a get it all done with me in the kitchen video in terms of cooking, prepping and refilling and organising my empty pantry storage and refilling it. So I hope you enjoy this video today and it gives you some sort of quick and easy ideas. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with a quick and easy apricot chicken freezer bag, also known as dump bags. I'm not going to cook these chicken meals, I'm just putting them into bags with all the other ingredients and freezing them. This can go in a slow cooker, in an oven dish, or it can go in a pot on the stove. It does not have to be in a slow cooker if you don't have one. I will have the recipes in the description box below, but it's a very simple recipe to remember. It's basically just one chopped onion, and after I chop the onion, I will add a half a cup of dried apricots and I will chop them also. I add a can of chickpeas drained, approximately 3/4 to 1 sachet of French onion soup mix. I'm putting in a little bit less than that because it might be a bit strong with the onions and the soup mix for my kids. A 1 can of apricot nectar, and I'm using 3 chicken breasts altogether. So once you have defrosted this meal, I would probably add about a half a cup, or you might need more, of water to it. Just maybe monitor it depending on how you're cooking it. So it depends on your taste as well, if you like it thick or thinner, and obviously how dry the chicken is. It has got chickpeas in it, so it will absorb a fair bit of water. So just see how that goes there. Just keep in mind that these are whole chicken breasts that we're using. You can chop the chicken first and place it in the bags, but I'm just doing this really quickly today. I probably get them out once they're defrosted and maybe give them a quick chop up then, because being the whole chicken breast, it's going to take a lot longer to cook. And sometimes it's harder to see if they are cooked that way. So that's up to you. But this is just a quick and easy, throw it all in today. And yeah, you can always tweak it later on when it's defrosted. So now I'm just going to keep on going and doing what I'm doing, and I'll put some music on in the background. So this time I'm using chicken drumsticks. I've got 8 of these, which is enough for a family of 4 if you add rice with it or something like that, or pasta. Basically, it's just really quick. I'm not putting any ingredients in it. You can put extra onions and things like that in it, but this is just to make it really quick today. So like I said, I've got 8 drumsticks, and I'm going to put them between 2 freezer bags because they weigh a fair bit as well. So I'm going to use a whole jar of mango salsa. You can use any salsa you wish. It doesn't have to be mango. But I got this on special once for about $1 a jar, so I grabbed a few jars of it, and it's got everything it needs in it. The salsa seems to have onions and tomatoes and capsicums and things like that, so you can get away with not having to chop up extra onions and things like that with it. Once I've poured the mango salsa into the bags, I'm just going to get about a tablespoon of curry powder, depending on how you like it. If you like it hotter, add more. If milder, don't put that much in it. And I'm just going to shake it up with a little bit of water, probably a couple of tablespoons of water in the bottom of the jar, just to get all the flavourings out of the salsa jar. And I'm just going to pour that between the 2 bags. So you'll get that little bit of curry taste as well with the salsa and the mango, so it really does taste nice. And then I'm just going to squish it down a little bit, make sure it's sort of completely covering all the chicken drumsticks. And that's basically it. It's a pretty simple recipe, and like I said, you can just put a can of tomatoes in this. It can be anything you want. I'm just using the salsa today as just an easy recipe example. So with these bags, if you're cooking it in a slow cooker, I would probably aim for about 5 to 6 hours in a slow cooker on low. With chicken, I always make sure towards the end to check the chicken, make sure it's thoroughly cooked before I serve it out. So that's basically it for these meals. We're going to just put them in the freezer now, and I'll pull them out when we need them. And keep in mind to thoroughly thaw them out before you cook them, but to add just around about a half a cup to around about 1 cup of water. In my last Kmart haul, you would have seen that I purchased this large plastic storage container. It did take me a little while to figure out what I was going to do with it. I was going to put it in the pantry and put treats in it and chips and things like that. But I've decided to put some fruit in it. I've got this big 2-kilo bag of apples, and they're quite large apples, as you can see. This fitted the whole 2 kilos in there. I love that it's clear, and in the fridge it looks really good with fruit in it. So now I'm just going to chop and store some fruit and vegetables for the week. I hope this gives you some ideas, and I'll put some music on in the background. I very rarely wash our fruit while I'm preparing it. I haven't been very successful in this in the past. I find that it gets soggy, especially berries, and it doesn't last as long. It's nowhere near as fresh. So what I do is I'll just chop it up as it is, and I'll pop it into the containers, and everyone in the family knows that we have to wash our fruit before we're about to eat it. It might be the containers I'm using as well. I know you can get those special containers that keep fruit and vegetables fresher for longer, and I probably will get them. But in the meantime, this is the way that we do it. So I just thought I'd show you a quick way that I cut up oranges for the kids' lunch boxes. I just chop it up like this, but I've forgotten to show you the other way I also do it. Once I have chopped them up like this, you can actually chop them in half again, and that just makes it easy for small hands. But I find my kids eat the oranges when I put them in the lunch boxes like this, and they do actually fit in those bento boxes really well. Because I was trying to figure out a way that I could give my kids oranges without it being so messy, but I found this principle works really well with oranges. So that's the prepping of the fruit and vegetables for the week, and I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. We're going to manage to eat all that pretty quickly. I just find if I don't chop it up and prepare it first, it'll go off in the fridge and the kids won't even get a chance to eat it because it will just get thrown in the bottom of the crisper. But this way works well. So this is another day now, and I'm just going to cook up a quick banana bread. This is the Bacon Create banana bread from Coles. I have bought it before, but this time I've made it. It was just perfect. I'm not sure. It was moist. This didn't last long in our house, so I guess that's a good sign that they did enjoy it. But I'm going to make 2 loaf tins of this now because I want to have one that we can eat for the next couple of days, and I'm going to cut one up and freeze it for my kids' lunch boxes. So I'm just going to go along now and cook this up, and I'll put some more music on for you. So once I put the mixture into the pans here, I'll pop them in the oven. And then while that's cooking, I'm going to get started on my next recipe. It's so good to sort of get ahead of the game and have another cake in the freezer cooked for lunches for the week. It just sort of takes the worry out of having to think about what you're going to put in lunch boxes. So now while the banana bread's cooking, I'm going to make these Wheat Bix Bliss Balls. Our kids can't have nuts at school, so the Wheat Bix work really well in this. So firstly, I'm just going to add some dates. I will put the recipe in the description box below. Because I didn't put all the amount of dates in, I've only put some apricots because I wanted a little bit more of a different fruit taste. It didn't get as sticky because I was supposed to use the medjool dates, which are a lot larger. So now I'm just going to put some pumpkin seeds into the fruit mixture. And also once I've done that, I'll add some chia seeds to it. You can basically put anything in this if you don't have any of these ingredients. You can put what you want in. And once I've added the chia seeds, I will put some vanilla essence in. This processor has worked really well for me. I've had it for a few years now. It's just the right size, but because I've got like 4 Wheat Bix to add to it, I sort of have to do it separately. So I'm just going to whizzle that up and it'll chop up all the fruit really easily for me. And it sort of makes it sticky as well, so it's easier to roll into balls. So now I'm just going to add the mixture to a large mixing bowl. And once I've done that, I'm going to put the 4 Wheat Bix back into the mini processor and just give that a little bit of a whiz, just so I get it into like a fine powder. If you haven't got a processor, you could just crush these with like a tea towel or break them up with your hands, because Wheat Bix don't take long to just break up. And then I will mix that into the mixing bowl, and I'm going to put some coconut with it as well. Now we'll be adding some water to it just to make it sticky. I have put a little bit more water than what the recipe asks for because it just wasn't getting sticky. It was still really dry and it wasn't forming into a ball. That's my mistake for not using the larger dates, and I did add some apricots with it, so maybe that's why it didn't get as sticky. So that's okay because I've just added a tablespoon of rice malt syrup. So 1 tablespoon of this should be suffice. I found that once these were made, they weren't sickly at all. Even with the dates and the apricots, they were just perfect. So now that's done, I'm going to continue to roll these into balls. So I'm going to pop these in the fridge now, and they should be right to eat in the next hour. So I've taken the banana bread out of the oven. I've let it cool for a little while before I've cut into it. I'm going to chop this one up now and put it into the cake keeper. So then there's some cake there for the family when they want a bit of a snack. The other one I'm going to chop up and put into those reusable clip seal bags, and then I'm going to freeze them into slices so I've got something for the lunch boxes. So I couldn't help myself. I had to try it with some butter on it. This recipe was absolutely delicious, and I'll be definitely buying this Bacon Create banana bread from Coles again. So I've been meaning to do this for about 2 to 3 weeks now. I really want to get all the containers out of my pantry and refill them. I've got stacks of half-empty bags that have just been thrown in the pantry, and I just keep on adding to it instead of just making time and filling up the containers with it. It's incredible how much room you can make by emptying cereal boxes into containers or emptying biscuits into biscuit jars. It just gives you so much more room, and it makes it so much neater. So I'm going to go ahead now and bring out all the things that need to be refilled, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. If only I could work that fast in real time. Things would be so much easier. Well, thank you very much for watching this video today. And I'm so sorry about the video and lighting quality. My camera didn't work very well throughout it, so I had to use a spare one. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. And if you do like these sort of videos, then please subscribe. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.